So happy Saturday, engineering fam. Of course, I'm your host, otherwise known as the Elevated Engineer, and welcome to another episode of Elevated. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I was watching both of these movies last weekend. I enjoyed most aspects of both of these movies, but let me talk about them separately. So the first one is American Skin. There it goes. All right. So I really didn't understand the ending, and thus I really didn't understand the motivation. So let me explain. And for those, let me go ahead and give a brief summary. Without, I don't want to give away too many spoilers because I know people probably haven't seen it yet. But I was a little bit disappointed in American Skin, man. Basically the plot is this guy, he's a Marine. He comes back and he's like basically driving with his kid, and they get pulled over. You see the trailer, so they pretty much give it away in the trailer. They basically, the police pull him over, typical, profiling case. His son pulls out the camera and they kill his son. Boom, right? Now, he goes and, he's kind of dealing with it. They trying to get justice. And there were some really good parts with regards to, like, how they portray, especially black folks in the media, how they go to, the victims, usually like their mother or the whatever female, and kind of manipulate her to be like, we forgive you and all that nonsense. So yeah, so that happens, and so he basically says, you know what, screw this, and he basically goes and takes over a police station and puts the officer who shot his son, this, like, I don't know, like a year or two later or whatever, they puts him on like a trial at the police station after he takes over. So it gets kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple of parts in the movie where I'm just like, yo, like this is some real like crazy stuff, man. Like this could really happen, man. Like, honestly, if you sit about and think about it, like, so the guy's name, before I get too far, is Nate Parker, and he did the Nat Turner movie. He did the Red Tails. He basically plays the guy Lincoln Jefferson, right? Interesting name, of course. So I don't know. So I thought it was a good movie. It's just that black folk, when you go and you watch this movie, I'll tell you this. It's basically going to end how you think it's going to end. Like, that's really as simple as I can kind of put it. Because although there are some good action parts, it just, the motivation doesn't make sense given the ending. So I'll leave it at that. I want people to go see it, though. It definitely is. I will say this: it definitely creates some really good dialogue. There's a part where everybody's just being open, like, yo, like, this is how we feel about y'all. So that was a really good dialogue scene. The scene with the Hispanic cop and the dude who was probably like, Mexican mafia or something like that. They had a really good conversation. It was good because it was in Spanish, and I didn't have my subtitles on, but I can kind of rock and roll with it. Basically they were talking about, like, he was like more or less saying, like, you think you're better than me, blah blah blah, because you could fit in a little better than me. And then the other dude was like, yeah, you think you don't know me, you know what I mean? Like, he was like, you got the tattoos. We know what y'all be doing with them little girls. So that part was powerful, but everybody was just sitting down talking about it. So that they had some powerful parts of the movie. But again, I was a little let down. But the second movie that I wanted to talk about was One Night in Miami. Right? I enjoyed this movie. I think it has some really good parts. I think the dudes who played, you know, Sam Cooke, Sam Cooke, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, and Malcolm X. So I mean, honestly, I, I kind of enjoyed it. I guess there was a bit of controversy, um, because they kind of talked about NOI and Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad and all that good stuff. Well, I mean, again, I'll go to the plot details a little bit about this one too, because this one is I enjoyed it, but basically, Muhammad Ali has a fight against Sonny Liston, a controversial fight, and down in Miami. And what I really liked, just go a bit of a tangent. This was like old black Miami that a lot of people don't even realize was here. Like Miami, at one point, you do a little bit of research, was a prominent black town in the South. And places like where they talk about Overtown now, like, oh, Overtown. At one point, Overtown was you could still go to Overtown right now and see the black businesses that used to be there but never came back. When it goes to gentrification, when it goes to, I mean, immigration. To be honest with you, unchecked immigration, wet foot, dry foot, like that. Also, in building a freeway through basically Overtown. The You go right now, if you go to those parts of Miami, whether it be Liberty City, Overtown, Opalaka, like Little Haiti, and all that stuff. Those places used to be like prominent black towns, and they talk about that in the film. Like, even though it wasn't like, oh my gosh, it was still a place where there were a bunch of black businesses and there was black middle class. It does not exist there now. So that's one thing that I really liked about this movie, is that it shows that just that old part of old black Miami where the celebrities would come to Miami before people knew what Miami was. Miami, before the cocaine wars, and before, Miami was black Miami. So I kind of enjoyed it. There was a little there was a little bit of controversy in the casting, probably because whatever the actor, one of the actors maybe wasn't, FBA, ADOS, descendant of slavery, whatever. But one thing I did notice, like, whenever it seems like there's a movie about Malcolm, it seems like the media goes out of their way to demonize NOI and Farrakhan. Overall, a decent movie, but I gotta be honest, a lot of black directors in Hollywood are scared to give us endings that black folks deserve, man. What do I mean? I mean, like, with movies like Hidden Colors, even TVA with the race war. But even you could go so far as to say that Get Out was not your typical Hollywood ending, period. And what I mean by that is, I mean, not the ending that makes white folks feel great. I mean, there's no other way to really say it. And they say the Hollywood ending, but they say, like with Nate Parker, they say Nate Parker doesn't give a Hollywood ending, but he kind of does. Let's keep it real, man. Man, look, I fuck with Nate Parker on like the interview tip, on like him as a person, but I'm gonna keep it a buck. A lot of times, Red Tails kind of fell off for me, and to be honest, I think that what was it? The Nat Turner movie was called what? Whatever it was called. Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I'm looking it up right now. Nat Turner movie. Thank God for Google. Okay, Birth of a Nation. Birth of a Nation. Right? So, Birth of a Nation kind of fell off for me a little bit because I felt like it was only like 75% of a full movie. Honestly, I didn't really think they went hard enough on Birth of a Nation. So I gotta be honest, like that's why I talk about, with black directors, it's really not black media if you have to go and get your money from non-black, sources. Now, I don't mean like public money. I mean like you have to raise money. You have to go and shop your movie to a studio. And I remember when Birth of a Nation came out, and Nate Parker was shopping his movie, and he had a chance to shop it to Byron Allen, and he like turned down Byron Allen, and he went to Fox. And in my honest opinion, I think that Fox, I think it was Fox, whoever the studio was, I think they tried to bury that movie because you didn't see any promo for it. You didn't see any, and I mean, you look at the numbers at the box office, it wasn't that impressive. It wasn't like it was like nobody expected it to be like Black Panther or anything like that. But I think, and remember, that's when that whole the controversy over his case and stuff and all that stuff started coming out. You think that was on accident? Nah, bro. So I think a lot of us are realizing this now. I like a lot of these independent studios. I love what Dame Dash is doing. Hell, I love what of course Tariq Nasheed. I love what a lot of these people are doing. These independent. There's a lot of dudes on YouTube who are just like writing, producing, directing, starring in their own stuff, their own YouTube series, and I think that's where it's heading. Also, once you get big enough, you could start branching out and getting kind of off of YouTube. That's kind of what I'm doing a little bit. That's why I have my website where I can actually do business there and I can kind of drive traffic a little bit. But eventually, yeah, man, we got to start, you know, not only do we got to start funding our own stuff, black folk got to start supporting these other stuff. Otherwise, we not going to get the endings we want. We going to get the endings that make the dominant society or what have you feel comfortable. So, but no other group, they don't do that in Bollywood. They don't do that in China and Hong Kong films. They do what's gonna make they people go spend money. And regardless of how other people feel. And I think that either China or India has the biggest Hollywood market right now. So that's my opinion on those movies. Next topic. Yeah, so I just want to cut to my Twitter feed. I thought it was hilarious because it's like I just thought that was hilarious. Honestly, I just thought that was hilarious. All right, no, so no, man. So obviously, does it matter? I mean, I would say yes, it does matter because it sets a precedent for Trump to run again in 2024. They acquitted him. And you know what? I say let him. Let him run. In 2024, Trump will be nearly 80 years old. So, okay, look. Let's think about it like this. Trump is already like old, a failed president, known to cause insurrections and all this good stuff. Like, but he's also known for not being that smart. So I mean, let's keep it real. Look, the good thing about Trump being acquitted is, one, you get to see who actually voted for him to be acquitted, which Republicans or whatever or what have you voted for him being acquitted. So, and I'm gonna just run through this because I really want to sit and kind of process it, because this whole time, I honestly, I'm not gonna say I was against the impeachment, but I just didn't see the point. What's the point of impeaching him? He's not in office. He lost. I mean, his followers can believe whatever they want, but the truth is, he lost. Even if you can say that the Democrats stole the election, which, in my opinion, I think they kind of did. I mean, even if you could say they stole it, like, he still won. Biden, he still won, because unlike in 2000, I definitely remember that. Even though I wasn't old enough to vote, I definitely remember that they were counting those votes well into the new year, I believe. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'd rather have a guy like Trump in the office than Biden. Okay, look, Biden is good to, like, calm things down and kind of get everything back into, like, normal. But I don't think America is normal anymore. I think 2019 and 2020 especially revealed a lot of things that were kind of just below the surface in America, whether it be open, blatant white supremacy and racism, corruption in our politics, the media, who's completely... You notice that the media, now that Trump is out of office, nobody's really watching it as much. I mean, I wasn't watching it before, but it just goes to show you, like, this thing with Trump, man, like, it showed how just biased the media really is. And I don't mean just bias in a way that, oh, they only cater to the left, as so-called conservatives always say, oh, the media caters always. So there's a good grain of truth to that the media really does cater only to the left. And then you got, like, Fox News. So it's like Fox News, but then the people on the right, a lot of them, I don't think are really watching cable like people on the left are watching cable either. And by that, I mean people in a certain age group. Because I know a lot of people in my age group, a lot of people in my age group don't watch CNN, don't watch MSNBC. A lot of crazies kind of watch Fox News, but like, okay, whatever. What Trump revealed was America's nasty demons that we have been trying our best to hide, but they right there. I mean, so that's why I say a guy like Trump, I think he made a lot of people nervous because exactly that. He revealed a lot of the corruption, because Trump is corrupt himself. If Trump is corrupt himself, then he's going to, by the effect of him just being completely incompetent, he's going to reveal a lot of that stuff. So that's why I'm just like, okay, well, Trump is bad, yeah. But Biden is man, he's on his last legs. Let's keep it all the way real. Y'all, come on, man. But a lot of these people are, not all, but a lot of these people are definitely, man, these dudes been in politics for the last 50 years. Of course they like old as hell. so, so that's why I'm completely not against Trump running in 2024. I'm like, so what? Like what's the worst that isn't that democracy, right? If let's keep it a buck. I'm Everybody knows I don't follow either side of the political spectrum, of the perceived political spectrum. But if Trump was impeached again, he was impeached twice, and both times they failed to remove him. Well, that's how our government works, and people don't like it. Okay, well, how come the politicians aren't changing it? They were really quick to complain about these campaign finance laws, electoral college laws and stuff. But every time the Democrats get in office, they don't ever change it because they know they're still going to be able to use it. It's just a lot of it's just rhetoric and stuff to gaslight people to get the emotional responses they want. So I think Trump being acquitted is not that big of a deal. I mean, his supporters stormed the Capitol building, man. Like what more evidence do you really need that you know a guy like Trump, who I don't think is that smart, can get all them people to go storm the DC Capitol? Well, what's stopping a guy who's smarter than Trump, who realizes, oh, I got a horde of angry, upset, racist. I got a whole horde of these people that I can do whatever I want with. And if they want, all they got to do is just like, yo, look, man, there's a lot of Confederates still walking around. Hello, they had the Confederate all that symbolism, but they had the Confederate flag at the Capitol, and many of them. We don't see it. You see it when we driving around. My ancestor fought these guys. They went to war with these guys. Mine, I can say that. I can say his name. You know. So I think that with Trump is him getting acquitted. Is it gonna affect my life that much? Probably not. Is it gonna affect black folks that much? What can happen to us that wasn't already happening? That's my question. I mean, what? Like all we gotta do is just look around and see where black folks was during Obama, during Clinton, during Bush, during Trump. And in fact, Trump actually tried to offer the platinum whatever. Okay, I know it was garbage. It was like half a trillion or something like that. It wasn't nothing. But I ain't seen nothing from Biden yet. I'm not saying he's not working on anything, but anything specific for black folks who were from here, whose ancestors built this place, I don't see anything from the Biden camp yet. So I can't really subscribe and say that Biden is that much better than Trump. How much better is he? And then in 2024, how old is Biden gonna be? How old is Biden? I think I looked this up before, but I always forget. Give me a second, because I want to see how old Joe Biden is. 78. Come on. I'm looking this up. Okay, obviously I'm looking up on Google. You can give or take a year or two, but he's 78. In 2024, he'll be 82. Come on. Now let's look at Trump. 74. He's gonna be 78. Nah, bro. I think Trump can run in 2024. And we're gonna make a prediction. I don't think he will. I don't think that Trump will run in 2024. I could absolutely 1000% be wrong. Anything could happen. But in my personal opinion, I don't think that Donald Trump is going to run in 2024. I think he's just in it to get this money, and I think he's just trying to drum up as much media attention to stay as relevant as possible until he checks out of here. You know what I mean? Like this guy's a marketing guy. That's what he does. He gonna keep marketing until he checks out. So, and the amount of money he's gonna make now for having been president, it doesn't matter. It's what a lot of people don't understand. It doesn't matter. Like Trump trying to make money for the next 1,000 years, man. It don't matter if he becomes president in 2024 or not. He's already set his family up so that one of his family members in the next however many decades is going to run for president, and another Trump is going to be in office. That's what it's about. So whether he runs in 2024 or not, doesn't matter. So I think I honestly, and this is just a rant, honestly, at this point. it's just a rant. It's a rant by a black man on YouTube, and that's just what it is. So I think we're gonna be moving on to the next topic. Woo woo. Okay. I hope you all enjoyed the web scraper part 2. That was actually had a lot of fun doing that because that one's actually shorter than the first one. Obviously, you can go and check it out. Please go enjoy it. Leave a comment on there. I would really appreciate that. Matter of fact, go watch. What you really should do is you should watch the Get on Code series. This web scraper part from part 1 and start there and go. But the idea is that you can actually start from any one of these videos and just start going ahead and get into it. Just because these particular videos are based on web scraping, I think the next series I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bot for scraping information or doing whatever processes automatically. So I think I'm gonna create a bot for the next series. But this one is pretty good because this one we go over Beautiful Soup. Beautiful Soup is similar to, I believe it's Scrapy, SCRAPY, and then there's Beautiful Soup, and these are good for searching websites for information. It's more optimal than just using regex expressions, regular expressions. So what I mean by regular expressions, for people who don't know, people watching, that would be like searching a website for explanation points or characters on the on your keyboard, basically any characters on your keyboard. With Beautiful Soup is better because it allows you to search for HTML tags. And by searching for HTML tags information, it makes it more optimized. Going by the subject of the part 1 of the web scraper series searches websites through regex, and part 2 searches websites through Beautiful Soup. Part 3 will be addressing the weaknesses of Beautiful Soup. And part 2, you gotta watch part 2 to get it. I encourage everyone to please go watch part 2. Please go watch part 2. But part 3 is actually searching websites and going around HTML forms or whatever forms are not HTML forms, but just forms on a website. Because Beautiful Soup like inherently is not able to go around forms. So when you're searching through websites for information, you can miss some information that's in the database. So it's in the back. So This next video is gonna highlight actually being able to go through forms. It's very powerful, and please don't use it to to scrape and collect information from the CIA. Because they were like, excuse me, sir, my name is Agent So and So. Where'd you get this? Oh, I seen that. I seen this video. This dude, the elevator engineer, he showed us how to do the shit, right? Yeah, okay, yeah, okay. Nah, but it's good information. I think you will enjoy it, and you all can use it to start really kind of breaking into data science, man. So that's one reason. Another reason, I'm not gonna lie, I use it. One platform I use is Upwork. I've mentioned that before. So Upwork.com is a freelance website. That's one website I use until I build my website up enough. Right now, my website is more like blog, project showcase, stuff like that. I don't really want to focus too much on building, focus on building a website as much as I will focus on putting more videos out, building products, working on this video game that I'm still working on, which I will be working on again till the end of. Speaking of which, video game is going to be. It's gonna be pretty cool. It's gonna be pretty cool. Because we're working out the engine. But my first problem was finding a concept, and I'm just be honest. Like when you're doing a video game, it's not something that you can really just jump into and just power your way through without taking serious thought. So I had to come up with, okay, as I said before, I'm building a RTS war game, but it will be an educational game. What? Okay, so we want to work it so like we're gonna be using math as the primary driver of combat, meaning I don't want to give too much away because it's definitely my idea, so I ain't gonna be giving y'all niggas too much till it's released. But the game will be using math as a primary driver, so I'll leave it at that. I don't again. Well, altered reality technologies, we're going in two different directions. We're going the data science direction, business data science, business intelligence, and then on the other side we got the VR, MR applications, and our art studios, which is of course the just video games straight up and the CGI components of Unity development. Yes, sir. Okay, so okay. Also check out the other Get on Code episodes. I got a couple of videos on Unity. I wanted to focus on both aspects, but yeah, check that out as well. So, with that being said, thank you for watching another episode of Elevated, and goodbye to another episode of Elevated. I am your host, the Elevated Engineer. Thanks again, guys. That's it.